These are the highest probability plays for today. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. I am Frank with Linemaker Sports. In today's show, we are going to go over the highest probabilities for the slate of NHL, college football, and baseball. All right, but before we get to that, let's talk about yesterday's show. All right, so here's just some of the stuff that we ended up going through. So first one was Tarek Skubal, however you want to say it. Under 2.5 earned runs. He pitched a gem. I mean, that one there was no sweat whatsoever. I think he went 7 innings and didn't even give up a run. So very solid performance by him. Jose Ramirez, unfortunately, was on the opposite end of that because he was going against Skubal. Even though he batted well against him in the past, Skubal was just on another level yesterday, and Ramirez could not get a hit. All right. Then we went to the Monday Night Football game, as we had Patrick Mahomes with the 90%, the highest one on the slate, 90% probability to go over 199.5 passing yards. He got that in the first half. So that stuck true to a 90% probability play right there. Now, unfortunately, Derek Carr had 87.5 probability to go over 180 yards. He ended up getting hurt with 165 passing yards. All right, he had basically probably 2 more possessions to be able to get over that number, but because he got hurt, he had to end up sitting on the sideline, and we weren't able to even get a shot at getting near that number. So that was just unfortunate. All right, sometimes stuff like that happens. All right, somebody gets hurt, there's nothing we could do about it. All right, you can't factor that into nothing. We don't know if the guy's going to get hurt, so there's really nothing you could do. Travis Kelce, he had a 71% probability to go over 40 receiving yards. He got that in the first half. All right, so Monday Night Football, some good probabilities as through those players. Unfortunately, we should have swept the board, to be honest. It was a little frustrating when somebody gets hurt when they're really actually pretty close, and you know that they're probably going to get that yardage if they just had the opportunity. All right, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get to today. Like I said, we got a heavy slate today. All right, hockey is back. So there's a couple games for hockey. It's the official opening day for hockey, but not really because there's only 3 games on the slate. But there is one player prop that we will look at. All right, but first, let's get to the MLB. We got Michael King. All right, we went to him, I think, last week. All right, he has a 77% shot to go under 2.5 earned runs. And when he's going against better teams that are top 10 batting, that percentage goes up slightly. All right, he kind of pitches the same regardless. He has a 78% chance to go under 2.5 earned runs against teams that are batting pretty decent. All right, let's get to Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola has a 63% chance overall to go under 2.5 earned runs, but that drops to 50-50 when he goes against better teams. All right, when he goes against top 10 batting teams, it's a 50-50 mark. So obviously, 50-50 mark, we're really not too impressed there because it's a coin flip. All right, you got to pretty much do a coin flip there for the over/under 2.5 earned runs if you want to have some action on Aaron Nola. Let's talk about Sean Manaea. All right, last time he was out, we talked about the probabilities with him. His probabilities were swaying to fade him, and that's probably what you should have did because I think he gave up like 5 earned. If I remember correctly, I think it was like 5 earned runs he gave up in his last outing. So that dropped his percentages a little bit. We're at 54% overall under 2.5 earned runs and 40% under 2.5 earned runs when he goes against the top 10 batting. All right, so maybe he steps it up today, maybe he doesn't. Regardless, I probably won't be touching it. Nothing with Sean Manaea. All right, let's get to Walker Buehler. So Walker Buehler last year was a solid pitcher. This year, not so much. All right, there's a 37.5% chance for him to go under 2.5 earned runs. And again, we got a 50-50 here, which is a bit better than what his overall number is. I mean, it goes up to 50-50 for him under 2.5 earned runs. But again, that's a coin flip. All right, that's a coin flip if you want action on Walker Buehler. Now let's get to some hitters because we actually got quite a few hitters today to talk about. Trey Turner, he has a 71.90% chance to get a hit. And he's batting .313 versus Manaea. So pretty solid there. Trey Turner is a solid guy to always, make solid contact, get on base. All right, so he's always a good one. Another one I want to talk about yesterday actually was Salvador Perez. He ended up actually getting a home run. All right, we just wanted him to get a hit. He actually ended up getting a home run against Carlos Rodon. So that was actually a good one too. Let's get to Bryce Harper. He has a 66.9% chance to get a hit. He's batting .364 versus Manaea. All right, so we got two Phillies already in the lineup here that bat well against Manaea. That takes us to number 3 for the Phillies, Nick Castellanos. He's got 64.19% chance to get a hit, and he's batting .375 versus Manaea. So we got 3 Phillies that are batting pretty good against Sean Manaea. So like I said, Sean Manaea might be a fade alert again. All right, you might have to sound the alarm on the fade alert for the under 2.5 earned runs for Sean Manaea. Now let's get to Starling Marte, where we had him, I think, last week to get a hit. He ended up coming through for us. This time, his percentage went up a little bit. It's at 62.76% for him to get a hit, and he's batting .355 versus Aaron Nola. All right, all these hitters are in the same game pretty much. All right, we're getting to the next one. Pete Alonso, same game, the Phillies-Mets game. He's got a 59% chance to get a hit, and he's batting .320 versus Aaron Nola. For a hitter, when you're getting sub 60%, I don't really prefer it. I don't really like it. Like I said, if you guys notice from what I show, I like to stay in the higher percentiles. All right, that's just the way that I like to play. All right, and if you guys want to learn exactly how I come up with these probabilities, because I've seen it in the comments, people asking questions, make sure you guys go in the description and click the link in there. All right, I teach everybody this. I teach you guys how to come up with the probabilities that I'm showing you. Not just the probabilities, but also how to come up with money lines, spreads, totals, all that stuff. All right, so if you're interested in that, make sure you guys do click the link in the description. Now let's get to our last hitter, Fernando Tatis. He's batting 71.57%. Excuse me. He has a 71.5% chance to get a hit, and he's batting .310 versus Walker Buehler. So out of all the hitters, Tatis and Turner seem like the highest probability ones to be able to come through and get a hit. I like Tatis because Buehler hasn't been, lights out. All right, so he is vulnerable, and Tatis could get some good contact off of him. As in for Turner as well, going against Manaea, same thing. So those are two possibilities for hitters as well that are up in that upper echelon of the higher percentile. All right, now let's get to college football. There is one game on the slate tonight. It's Liberty versus FIU. We're going to look at the running back for Liberty. All right, Quentin Cooley. All right, Quentin Cooley has an 83% chance to go over 74.5 rushing yards. Now, it drops a little bit when he goes against similar defenses as FIU against the run. Drops to 66%. So still, that's a decent probability, all right, for rushing yards, for him to get over 74.5 rushing yards. And that should say Quentin, not Quinto. All right, a little typo on there. But Quentin Cooley, 83% chance overall to go over 74.5 rushing yards, and 66% when he's going against similar defenses against the run as FIU, which is who they are playing tonight. Now let's get to hockey. All right, we got David Pastrnak. All right, 71% chance for him to go over 0.5 points. So that means an assist, a goal, any of that, you get a point. All right, so he has a 71% chance overall, but it goes up 10% to 81%. All right, against similar defenses of who they're playing tonight. All right, so actually Pastrnak has a decent shot tonight, probability to be able to get over that 0.5 point threshold. So 81%, that's pretty clutch. So let's go ahead and go through our whole slate one more time. All right, let's start with Michael King again. Michael King, high probability right off the bat here. 77%, 78%. That's pretty clutch. All right, that's pretty good. Can't really argue with that. Let's get to Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola, that's a 50-50 toss-up if you want action on Aaron Nola. I personally probably won't be touching that whatsoever. Sean Manaea, he's probably the fade alert of the slate. He's probably the one that has the best shot of going out there and giving up 4 or 5 earned runs. All right, let's get to Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler, he's another one I won't be touching. He's way too inconsistent this year, not like how he was in the prior seasons. So he could get rocked, definitely could. All right, let's get to Trey Turner. Trey Turner, solid contact man right there. 71.9% chance to get a hit. Batting .313 going against Manaea, who we are putting on that pretty much fade alert. All right, so decent there. Bryce Harper, another one. About 67% chance there for Bryce Harper. batting 364 against Manea. Nick Castellanos, 64.19% chance to get a hit, batting 375 versus who? Manea. Again, 3 Phillies in the lineup there that bat well against Manea. Starling Marte, 62.76, not impressive. I mean, the impressive part is him batting 355 versus Nola, so that right there is a bit impressive. But again, we have better hitters on the slate actually to go with. All right, similar to what we're going to talk about Pete Alonso. Only 59% chance for him to get a hit. There's better hitters to go. There's elsewhere we can go here. And then Fernando Tatis, 71.5% chance to get a hit, batting 310 against Buehler, who Buehler is inconsistent and can get rocked, so I like that. All right. And then college football, we got Quentin Cooley, who should see the bulk of the work, and Liberty's 17-point favorites, so they should be running this ball, and they run the ball at one of the highest rates in the nation. So he should have a very good opportunity and a possibility to get over that 74.5 rushing yard threshold. And then David Pastrnak, we got 81% chance pretty much, all right, because of the team he's going against. So 81% chance for him to go over 0.5 points. All right, so hopefully you guys are taking advantage of all the information that I am giving you guys. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. I am Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll catch you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.